Thank you for staying with us on The Pulse. Time now for the sport. It's been 24 hours since Asante Kotoko beat Kara of Brazzaville in their first leg African Confederations Cup game in Kumasi. The game was noted for a bizarre number of penalties and the fact that all seemed to be very genuine. 5 penalties were given in 90 minutes. The question to ask is as whether Asante Kotoko is good enough for Africa on the basis of what we saw 24 hours ago. Steve Pollack says he wouldn't blame his players for the 3 penalty misses. Let's hear from him and get some analysis.
I have to say I've never been in a game where there's been 5 penalties. Only in penalty playoffs or in penalty shootouts. That's the only time. So it's astonishing, really. There's 5 penalties and only 1 goes in. It could have been 4-1. You know. I look at penalties. It's a lottery. You either score or you don't score. We have.
Kofi Asare was the commentator for Joy 99.7's coverage of the game yesterday, and he joins us on the line from Love FM, our sister station in Kumasi. Kofi, thank you for your time.
Hello, Gary, and thanks for having me.
Yes, so well, it was an interesting game. We monitored your report. I interviewed Steve Pollack this afternoon, and first of all, he said that he wouldn't say Kotoko were unlucky on the day. He also said that Kotoko do not have a striker's problem. Can you believe that?
Well, it's interesting for Pollack himself to say they don't have a striker's problem. This is a coach who's gone down to say it's very difficult to find natural goal scorers in this country. And he's lamented how his players have failed to translate what they do on the training field to in-game situations. And it comes to me as a surprise for him to say that they don't like goal scorers.
Kotoko had 37 shots on target and they converted just 1. I also put it to him, these stats to him, and he still insisted that, yes, indeed, I mean, in training situations, they are good, but they do have some problems with finishing when it came to the game. He didn't admit that it was pressure, but what vibe are you getting from Kumasi as regards the profligacy of the team yesterday?
Well, it comes down to one thing. What people are talking about is the fact that the players did not exude confidence when it comes to the final balls, especially in the 18-yard box of Kara. There were a number of times where, as a commentator, I was actually shocked by the decision of some players not to pull the trigger or to pull the trigger a bit too early. You could talk about Jackson Owusu's chance in the 75th minute, where he had the chance to strike the ball at goal, but he decided not to take the shot on.
Yeah, interesting. So, Kofi, the other thing is, are Kotoko good enough for Africa on the basis of what we've seen? In previous years, when they've done well, it is their away performances that have caught the eye. Could we see something like this again? And especially when it's Africa, you can never be sure about, well, fair officiating like we saw yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. And but you look at the team that we saw yesterday, and I must admit, it's the best I have seen in about 6 months from Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They haven't been this good.
They've not been this good. Kofi, I have to ask you, what areas do the team need to improve on? The striking is a problem. Did you see anything else that wasn't good from the starting 11 named? Because, I mean, Pollack says he fielded the best team that he could to the midfield, even to the bench.
Well, he fielded his best team, but I still feel that there are some parts they could have done better. For example, Amos Frimpong at right back could have certainly been better. Augustine Sefa could have been in that position, but then Sefa has also not had some very good outings in his past 3 games. But I still feel that they could improve on the attacking bit. Playing Sadiq as the lone man up front hasn't been too helpful for them. And those are areas I think they could improve. The lateral sides of defense and also the striking department of the team must be worked on very well before they go for the second leg.
And then finally, we have to ask, because there's a section of Kotoko fans that have not been happy, as you know, with his performances and feel that this man is not the one to lead them into the future. From an analytical point of view, What do you say?
I think those fans are certainly not seeing the developmental blocks the man is putting in place. Yes, he may not be your, should I say, your animated coach on the touchlines, but clearly there's been progress at the club under him. You see some more constructive play. The team builds, and for me, I think that's the most important thing, to see a team that is able to play football. And we can clearly see that now. And for me, they must just be patient. Remember, you and I had a talk about Lugarasic when they pushed him away with such talk. I think they have to give Polak some time.
Finally, a yes or no question. Do Kotoko advance?
Well, it's a tough one. I think it could happen.
Thank you very much, Kofi Asare, from our sister station, Love FM in Kumasi. We appreciate your time and analysis of Kotoko versus CAF Brazzaville. And the second leg is in 2 weeks down in Central Africa. My name is Gary Al Smith, and that's the sport for now.